Hey guys, I'm Mark from A Portion of Sport and welcome to Game Week 16 of the Premier League review. Oh my, episode on a Thursday, what is this witchcraft? Yeah, basically, if there's ever matches on a Tuesday or Wednesday like there was this week, I'll have the episode out rather on Thursday or Friday. Hopefully this one will be out on Thursday. It's currently Thursday, 12:45. This should be out by then. But if there isn't an episode on the Thursday by about 6 o'clock, it'll be on the Friday. Trust me, please. But if you are new to this series, what we do is we take a look at the past set of Premier League results, we then take a look at the Premier League table, and we finish off by looking at the top goal scorers. So here is a list of the past set of Premier League results along with their times in this video. If you want to hear about a specific game, just go to the time next to the match and you'll skip out all the other crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first game. We start with West Brom versus Swansea. Nothing really happened in this first half, but looking at the stats, a draw looked more likely to happen as Swansea had the majority of possession. However, it was West Brom who had the most clear-cut chances. But we would get a goal 15 minutes into the second half when West Brom took the lead. It came when a free kick is whipped into the box by Matt Phillips and Solomon Rondon is on hand to head home and put the Baggies 1-0 up. And West Brom would add another one, and it again came from Solomon Rondon. It came when Chris Brunt crossed a ball deep into the box and Rondon was again on hand to head home completely unmarked. And 3 minutes later, West Brom would put the game to bed when they went 3-0 up, and it again came from a Solomon Rondon header who completed his first ever Premier League hat-trick. This one came again when Chris Brunt played the ball into the box and the Venezuelan headed home into the top corner. Swansea would get a consolation goal in the 78th minute when Borja Baston shoots, but it is saved by Ben Foster, only as far as Wayne Routledge, who was able to slot home the rebound. And that's how the game would end, West Brom deserving of all 3 points in the end, and they continue their great form as of late. They're only 2 points behind the most successful team in England, Manchester United, and they have a better goal difference than them as well. Swansea are back to losing ways after beating Sunderland last week though. And we move on to Middlesbrough versus Liverpool. Liverpool were all over Middlesbrough for almost all of this game, and they deservedly took the lead in the 29th minute when Adam Lallana put the Kop ahead. It came when Liverpool worked the ball nicely and the ball ends up with Nathaniel Klein, who puts a perfect cross into the box, and Adam Lallana timed his run perfectly to get on the end of it and nod it home. And Liverpool would double their lead in the 60th minute, and what a goal it was. It came when Liverpool turned into Barcelona and they start to play brilliant passing footballs, triangles and everything. Sadio Mane played it to Gini Wijnaldum, who then played a first-time pass to Lallana, who then sweeped the ball back across goal for Divock Origi, who slotted home first time. And this is the 5th consecutive match that Divock Origi has scored in. And Liverpool would put the game to bed not shortly after when they made it 3 and Adam Lallana got his second. It came when the roles are reversed after the last goal, as this time it was Divock Origi who cut the ball back for Adam Lallana to side foot home from point blank range. And that's how the game would end, a dominant performance from the Reds, and deservedly took all 3 points away from the Riverside. And we actually kept a clean sheet and Loris Karius was nowhere to be seen. However, I think it might be because Ragnar Klavan was playing, as every time he played for us we seemed to be solid at the back. And Mignolet actually made some decent saves. And we move on to Tottenham versus Hull. Tottenham would take the lead in the 14th minute, and it looked like they were playing against a bunch of 6-year-olds. It was that easy for them. It came when Jan Vertonghen boots the ball up from the back. It took the Hull right back out of the game and allowed Danny Rose to sprint onto it and get into the box and laid the ball back for Christian Eriksen, who was on hand to smash the ball high into the net. And Tottenham would double their lead in the 63rd minute. Shortly after nearly conceding, they went up the other side and went 2-0 up. It came when the other Tottenham wing-back Kyle Walker raced into the box. He then played a low cross, and at the back post was Christian Eriksen to tap into an empty net from 1 yard out. And Tottenham would put the game to bed in the 73rd minute when Victor Wanyama made it 3. It came when Christian Eriksen hit a free kick from about 25 yards out. It was on target and he nearly had a hat-trick, but David Marshall produced a fine save, but he was only able to tip the ball onto the post and it rebounded perfectly for Wanyama to tap into the empty net. And that's how the game would end. There were times where Hull could have got back into the game, but it's times like that where the bigger teams are the one that can hold onto their lead, like Leicester last season. And for Hull, their struggles continue, but there were signs of optimistic play during this match, so not everything's doom and gloom. And we move on to Everton versus Arsenal. In the first 20 minutes, Everton looked very nervous, and they should be, because Arsenal have a lot of pace in their side, and one mistake can allow them to score easily. And a mistake is what led to Arsenal's goal. It came when Alexis Sanchez scuffs a free kick low. It was on target, and Martin Stekelenburg was probably going to save it easily, but Ashley Williams panicked and ended up converting the ball into his own net. But as the ball was on target, the goal stands as an Alexis Sanchez goal, and that put him level with Diego Costa on 12 goals, with Chelsea still to play on Wednesday. The game looked like it was going into the half-time break with Arsenal 1-0 to the good, and they should have had more goals to be fair, but in the 44th minute, the blue side of Merseyside would equalise the scoring through Seamus Coleman. It came when Leighton Baines played the ball into the box and Coleman snuck his way into the box unmarked and nodded home the ball low past Petr Cech. Both teams were up for it in the second half. Arsenal and Everton both looked like they could have scored more at times, but in the 86th minute it was Everton who took the lead. It came when Ashley Williams made up for his earlier mistake when Ross Barkley played a high cross from a corner. The Welsh captain towered over the Arsenal defence and powered in the header for his first goal for the Toffees. But Everton would go down to 10 men in the 93rd minute when Phil Jagielka got himself sent off. After being booked for a crunching tackle on Francis Coquelin earlier in the game, Jags was walking on eggshells for most of the match, and his second booking came when he brought down Lucas Perez and he headed for an early bath. Everton were extremely lucky not to throw away their lead after Jagielka got sent off. The free kick was played into the box, Arsenal keeper Petr Cech went forward for it, and the ball was pinged around and it was cleared off the line twice by some desperate defending from Everton. They then looked to go forward with the Arsenal goalkeeper frantically racing to get back, but somehow they don't capitalise on the opportunity and the game ended 2-1. This result looked like the Arsenal of old, as they really should have won this game, but fair play to Everton who got the upper hand and took advantage of it. This result ended Everton's winless streak and also broke Arsenal's undefeated streak. This was their first loss since the opening match of the season when they lost to Liverpool in a classic 4-3 match. And we move on to Manchester City versus Watford. Manchester City would take the lead in the 32nd minute when Pablo Zabaleta put them ahead. It came when Kevin De Bruyne twisted and turned his way into some space on the left-hand side. He then played a cross to the back post over the Watford defence, and Zabaleta is on hand to side foot the volley into the corner. Manchester City probably should have had a few more in this one, maybe about 3 or 4, but they would only manage 2, and the second one came in the 86th minute when David Silva got on the score sheet. It came when Fernando wins the ball on the halfway line. He then gives it to Silva, who plays a 1-2 with Raheem Sterling, and the Spaniard was able to smash home from about 12 yards out. And that's how the game would end. Nothing that I can really add to this one. City should have had more goals, and they also kept a clean sheet. Pretty telling that when they drop John Stones, they don't concede. Just putting 2 and 2 together here. And we move on to Crystal Palace versus scum of the earth, Manchester United. Good to see that the referees are still completely biased to the scummiest team in the world. Marcus Rojo should have been sent off when he 2-foot tackled Idrissa Gueye last week, and he did the same thing to Wilfried Zaha this week. He wasn't booked for either tackles. Also, United took the lead in the 45th minute, but I don't give a shit. Zlatan handballed it and it fell to Paul Pogba, who was offside, and the French international scored. And for some reason, the referees didn't give anything. Atrocious. Crystal Palace would equalise the scoring even with the referees against them when James McArthur got the goal. It came when Damien Delaney does a brilliant bit of skill to get the ball to McArthur, who put the ball past David De Gea. Manchester United would win the game, however, in the 88th minute when Zlatan Ibrahimovic got the winner. It came when Zlatan scored from an incredible angle. I'm not saying any more about United, I hate them. You're all scumbags. United's first goal shouldn't have stood, handball, offside. Marcus Rojo should have been sent off, but no. Jose Mourinho likes to complain that United are unlucky. Fuck off, you piece of human shit. And we move on to Sunderland versus Chelsea. Chelsea would take the lead in the 39th minute through a beautiful goal. It came when N'Golo Kante won the ball about 30 yards out from goal. He then passed it to Willian on the edge of the box. He then makes his way forward before cutting the ball back for Cesc Fabregas, who put the ball into the far corner of the net. And that is how the game would end. A pretty boring game in all fairness. A few chances for both teams, Chelsea and Sunderland. And then the last moment of the game, Sunderland was so close to equalising, but Thibaut Courtois made a brilliant save to keep all 3 points in the bag. But this win continues Chelsea's winning streak, and they are now 6 points clear of second place Liverpool and Arsenal. And this result keeps Sunderland bottom of the table. And we move on to West Ham versus Burnley. In the 45th minute, West Ham would have the perfect opportunity to go ahead in this match when they were given a penalty. It came when Andy Carroll headed the ball towards goal. Tom Heaton was able to save it only as far as Winston Reid, and Ben Mee dragged him back and the referee pointed to the spot. Mark Noble stepped up to take it, however it was saved by Tom Heaton, but the rebound fell back to Noble, who put away the rebound, and the Irons deservedly went ahead. And that's how the game would end. A few very close chances for both teams, and I'm not sure how I feel about this result. There were times when West Ham should have put the game to bed, but there were also times when Burnley should have got back into it. Either way, West Ham get their first win in 7 league games. And we move on to Bournemouth versus Leicester. Bournemouth were all over Leicester in this one, and they finally went ahead in the 34th minute when Mark Pugh, on his first start this season, got the goal. It came when Adam Smith ran into a through ball, his cutback reaches Benik Afobe, his shot is saved by Ron Robert Zyler, but the ball falls to Mark Pugh, who was on hand to smash home. And that's how the game would end. Bournemouth leave with all 3 points, and this is really weird. The last time they hosted Leicester was this time last year, and if you set your minds back, it was a little before the new Star Wars film came out. They won that match 1-0. A new Star Wars film is out soon. They won this game 1-0. Illuminati confirmed. Bournemouth are Illuminati. I'm running away from you, Bournemouth. You are creepy. Goodbye. And finally, we've got Stoke versus Southampton. The only main talking point in this one was a red card. It came in the 23rd minute when Marko Arnautovic got sent off for a challenge on Sofiane Boufal, where his studs were up and Stoke went down to 10 men. No complaints there. Clear red. And that is how the game would end. Southampton really should have won this one. They had the chances. They also had the man advantage. But even with 10 men, Stoke were able to hang on. And Mark Hughes' 400th Premier League match, he takes home a point. Right, so that's all the fixtures I've got for you this time. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers, starting off with the Premier League table. Starting with the top 5, and as you can see, Chelsea have extended their lead at the top of the table, going 6 points clear. Liverpool are second following their 3-0 win at the Borough. Arsenal are third following only their second loss of the season this week at Everton. I'm not sure why they're third. I thought they would be second, as Arsenal and Liverpool are both on 34 points and 20 goal difference, so it normally goes in alphabetical order, but as a Liverpool fan, I'll take it. Manchester City are fourth following their win against Watford, and Tottenham make up the top 5 following their big win against Hull. Moving on to the bottom 5, and as you can see, Sunderland stay stuck to the bottom of the table following their defeat at Chelsea. Hull are 19th after losing to Spurs. Swansea are 18th after being on the losing side of their match with West Brom. The mighty Borough are 17th following their loss to Liverpool, and Crystal Palace make up the bottom 5 following their loss to scumbags Manchester United. Moving on to the top goal scorers, and as you can see, we have a new name on the top, and that man is Alexis Sanchez. Diego Costa is also on 12 goals and 5 assists, but alphabetical order again, Costa should be top because it goes by second names, but maybe they go by first names. So Alexi, Diego, I'm not sure. You confuse me, Premier League. You bloody confuse me. Sergio Aguero is still on 10, Romelu Lukaku is on 9 goals and 3 assists, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic added 1 to his tally this week, moving him into the top 5. So that's all I've got for you this time. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back at the normal time of 4 PM on Tuesday for the next episode of the Premier League Review. Don't know why I'm clicking. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, the links to both are in the description down below, or my channel should be coming onto your screen now. You can click it on mobile, so get it clicked. Get it clicked. You still haven't clicked it. Click it. But anyway, I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I'll see you soon.